Hello everyone, welcome to Tutorials by Ayushi. Now this is the sixth video of the course of photosynthesis. I've already covered up all the topics of light reaction. Now I am straightly moving towards dark reaction. The topics left to cover in this course is Kelvin cycle, C4 cycle, CAM cycle and C2 cycle. Now also I'll be making a separate video on the difference between cyclic and non-cyclic photophosphorylation and C3 and C4 plants. Now straight away let us move towards Kelvin cycle. Now before starting with Kelvin cycle, I would like to build up a concept that in light reaction we have already formed the assimilatory powers in form of ATP and reducing power in form of NADPH2. Now these assimilatory powers and reducing powers are formed in two photochemical processes, which is non-cyclic photophosphorylation and cyclic photophosphorylation. If you haven't watched the video yet, I would request you to first go and watch these two videos on non-cyclic photophosphorylation and cyclic photophosphorylation, because you'll be much clearer about how assimilatory powers which are being used in dark reaction are formed in these two photochemical reactions. Now we know that we have the assimilatory powers in form of ATP and reducing powers in form of NADPH2 with us, which we have obtained from light reaction. Now how are to we use those assimilatory powers in dark reaction? Now also we know that dark reaction is a light independent reaction. Usually in dark reaction light does not play an important role, all because in dark reaction the compounds that are being used are in form of assimilatory powers in form of ATP and in form of reducing powers to form glucose. So here ATP and NADPH2 is used to produce sugars in form of glucose. Now starting up with C3 cycle. C3 cycle is also known as Kelvin cycle or biosynthetic pathway. It was discovered by the scientist Melvin Calvin, and because he discovered this cycle, therefore this cycle was known as Kelvin cycle. Now what actually was done by Melvin Calvin? What he did was he started doing experiments on the algae chlorella, and on doing chlorella, what were the main things or what were the main observations that Melvin Calvin actually made on which C3 cycle or Kelvin cycle or biosynthetic pathway was devised? Basically it was observed that the first acceptor of Rubisco, or the first acceptor of carbon dioxide is ribulose biphosphate, which is a 5 carbon compound. Now it was believed that when a 5 carbon compound, which is ribulose biphosphate, when it combines with carbon dioxide, the first compound that is to be formed, which is phosphoglyceric acid, which was later discovered, it was believed that when the 5 carbon compound ribulose biphosphate combines with 1 carbon of carbon dioxide, a 6 carbon compound should be formed. But it wasn't the case. When the 5 carbon compounds of ribulose biphosphate combined with 1 molecule of carbon dioxide, it formed a 3 carbon compound, which is phosphoglyceric acid. Now basically there are 3 steps which are involved in a single C3 cycle. Which are those 3 steps? The 3 steps involved phosphorylation, reduction, the phosphorylation, reduction and regeneration. Now what happens in these 3 steps? Let me start with C3 cycle. Now the first compound or the first acceptor that accept carbon dioxide is ribulose biphosphate, which is a 5 carbon compound. Therefore, and it combines with carbon dioxide. Now we know by the experiments which were being conducted by Melvin Calvin, we know that phosphoglyceric acid is a 3 carbon compound, which means that 3 molecules of 5 carbon ribulose biphosphate combines with 3 molecules of carbon dioxide to form 6 molecules of 3 carbon compound of phosphoglyceric acid. I hope you're clear with it. 3 molecules of ribulose biphosphate combines with 3 molecules of carbon dioxide, which means that a total of 15 carbon from ribulose biphosphate, because ribulose biphosphate is a 5 carbon compound, and a 3 carbon compound from carbon dioxide. Therefore 15 from here and 3 from here, which means that a total of 18 carbon compound should be present in the first compound which is being formed, which means that if PGA is a 3 carbon compound, 6 molecules of PGA should be formed. Therefore 6 molecules of 3 PGA or 3 phosphoglyceric acid is formed. Now what happens in the second stage is that phosphorylation of 3 PGA occurs, where 6 molecules of ATP are converted into 6 molecules of ADP by losing 6 phosphate, and the compounds which are being formed is phosphoglyceraldehyde. Not phosphoglyceraldehyde. After the phosphorylation of 6 molecules of 3 phosphoglycerate, 6 molecules of 1,3 biphosphoglycerate is formed here after phosphorylation, and once after phosphorylation 6 molecules of 1,3 biphosphoglycerate is formed, then happens the second stage of Calvin cycle, which is reduction. On reduction of 6 molecules of 1,3 biphosphoglycerate, 6 molecules of phosphoglyceraldehyde. Now phosphoglyceraldehyde is formed. Now here after reduction phosphoglyceraldehyde is formed. Now after formation of 6 molecules of phosphoglyceraldehyde, 1 molecule from the 6 molecules of phosphoglyceraldehyde moves out of the Calvin cycle, and this molecule of phosphoglyceraldehyde, which is 1 molecule of phosphoglyceraldehyde, helps in formation of half molecule of glucose, which means that if in a Calvin cycle 3 molecules of carbon dioxide is used and half molecule of glucose is formed, this means that 6 molecules of carbon dioxide are required to form a complete 1 molecule of glucose, which means that to produce 1 molecule of glucose, 2 Calvin cycles are needed. So here, after 1 molecule of phosphoglyceraldehyde goes and helps in the formation of glucose or sugars, the 5 molecules of phosphoglyceraldehyde helps in the regeneration of ribulose biphosphate. Now these 5 molecules of phosphoglyceraldehyde are present here. Now here regeneration takes place, that in presence of ATP, where ATP is converted into ADP. Here phosphoglyceraldehyde are further regenerated into ribulose biphosphate, and again ribulose biphosphate accepts carbon dioxide in presence of Rubisco enzyme, and again the C3 cycle continues to happen. Now talking about the energy chart of C3 cycle. Now before I move to the energy chart, I would just like to revise the cycle once again in form of energy, that here 6 ATPs are used in phosphorylation process, and here in the regeneration process 3 molecules of ATP are required. Now total of 9 ATP in 1 Calvin cycle is utilized, which means 6 from here and 3 from here. A total of 9 ATP are required in 1 Calvin cycle. And talking about NADPH, 6 molecules of NADPH are required in 1 Calvin cycle. Therefore, to produce 1 glucose molecule, we require 2 Kelvin cycle, since in 1 Kelvin cycle only half glucose is produced, which means that 6 CO2 are required to produce 1 glucose molecule. Now talking about ATP, since I've talked about in the previous video that 6 molecules of ATP in phosphorylation and 3 molecules of ATP in regeneration process, a total of 9 ATP, and since 2 Kelvin cycles are required to produce 1 molecule of glucose, therefore we will double the number of ATP, that is 9 into 2, which comes out to be 18 ATP. Talking about NADP, let me come to the previous slide. Here 6 NADPH are being reduced, therefore 6 NADPH are used, and since 2 Kelvin cycles are required to produce 1 glucose molecule, therefore a total of 12 NADPH are used. Also we know that 1 NADPH is equal to 3 molecules of ATP. Therefore if we calculate NADPH in terms of ATP, therefore 12 NADPH will be equal to 36 ATP. So this is the energy chart of Kelvin cycle or C3 cycle. This is the amount of ATP which is being required by C3 cycle or Kelvin cycle to produce 1 molecule of glucose. So now I hope now you get the point of how ATP and NADPH, which is being produced by light reaction, is so important to produce glucose, because in dark reaction or in C3 cycle, the main assimilatory powers in form of ATP and NADPH are utilized as there is no presence of light in it, and here these assimilatory powers are required to produce glucose, and the amount of ATPs that are being utilized are 18 ATP directly, and if we talk about NADPH, then 36 ATP in terms of NADPH are required. So I hope you're clear up with C3 cycle. I hope you're clear up with all the three stages of C3 cycle, including phosphorylation, reduction and regeneration, and also I hope you're clear about the energy chart or the energy requirements which are being utilized in a single C3 or a single Kelvin cycle. Also please do follow up the next videos which will be coming up on C4 cycle. Also I'll be making a video on CAM cycle and photo respiration, which is C2 cycle. I hope you're clear up with the concepts in this video. If you like my video, please do follow me on the application. Also do share this video with your friends and keep on studying.